The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't know what he was doing taking step-back threes at the end of that regulation when he's got bigs on him and he should be driving to the hole.
It's already bad enough that I'm playing with all these NBA and D1 studs that are unstoppable, and I'm the worst one there, and I can still ball with them. But if I start calling fouls, they'll revoke my privileges. Like, I man up when I play with them.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It's in-game live game day on a wild, wonderful Wednesday. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, betting on the world of sports. Little deja vu all over again, as they say. NBA postseason, NHL postseason, a little bit of baseball, getaway day today and tomorrow, but we got a few games tonight to put a couple of shekels on. We got our SGPs, we got our Black Clouds, and we got our 5 on the line, 5 best trends for the night games tonight. So a lot to get to. What's going on, Dave? How are you tonight?
Good to see you, sir. Looking good at the beach house as always. I'm out in Vegas just kind of hanging out, getting ready for another night of playoff basketball, playoff hockey. Can't get enough of it. The Knights lost last night. That's okay. Things happen. Home teams win, home teams lose. I wore the Toronto stuff because it worked in game 1. So let's get Toronto in. We got the second goal of the game. It's 1-1. Looking good there. The Celtics at least making a couple shots. They look like they're leading, so we'll keep an eye on that. It's not really a very entertaining basketball game. It looks like the 1990s again. We're getting a low-scoring, kind of ugly game, but that's okay. Maybe the under will get there. And a couple baseball games late. A loaded guest list as always. What's better than being here on a weeknight, Monday, Friday, 8 to 10?
I thought of you last night as I was watching Vegas. One of your favorite sayings, I got a gazillion of them, right? But one of yours is a trend is a trend, or is a trend is a friend until it's not, or something goofy like that, right? What is that saying?
Yep.
So
trend is your friend until
I know,
it's
I don't
not.
even know, but
Yes.
until
That's
it's
okay.
not.
A trend is your friend until it's not. That's fine.
All right. So get a load of this. Yeah, exactly. Dallas taking on Winnipeg tonight, right? So Winnipeg in the first round, heading into the first round series against St. Louis. Winnipeg was 3-19 in the regular season when trailing after 2 periods. Like, it didn't happen too often, but still 3-19, right? Not once, but twice in the St. Louis series did Winnipeg come back and win trailing after 2 periods, right? Last night, that was the first one. Last night, you're not going to like this one. Vegas, 26-0 in their short history in the postseason when leading by 2 goals or more. 26 and
yeah.
until last night. They lose for the first time.
It's funny because we were sitting on the couch, me, my wife Jessica, my little one Kendall, and we were watching the game. They were really into it, and the Knights were winning, and then they weren't. And I kept saying, and I was sitting there, and I bet the Oilers in game. And I kept saying to them, the Oilers are controlling play. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, watch the game. They have the puck more. They're in the Vegas end more. They doubled their shots on goal. They ended up getting a lead and winning the game 4-2. At least it stayed under 6.5. That's what we had talked about prior to the game. So that worked out. But, yeah, trends are your friends until they're not. Let's find some more friends. 5 on the line. Give the people what they want every day. We hit them with this every day at this time.
There you go. How about a segue? How great of a segue is that? 5 on the line time. Best trends for the games tonight. All right, we got a rare 2-day losing streak. We've been great with this. Every once in a while, we'll have a bad day, but back-to-back 2 and 3s. Last night, we did hit with the under Golden State Minnesota game. We hit with the Royals against the White Sox, but we lost with Vegas, as we were talking about. Lost with the Metsies, who did win this afternoon, so you should have played them again. And then the under 9.5 or over 9.5 didn't hit 5-3. So 2 and 3, so 4 and 6 for the week. Still 27 games over 500. So our 5-pack for tonight. We're going to start at a little hockey. Dallas and Winnipeg Jets. They are riding an 8-game under streak. Their last 4 games, well, they're 4 games this year, 4 games 2 years ago, all under. 8 straight unders. So where are we going to go? I don't really like it, but under 5.5 Dallas and Winnipeg tonight.
Little worried about this one. About this one. Like Florida, Toronto over, like this one under, but we'll see. I'm worried about this one.
Yeah. NBA, we got the second game, Denver at Oklahoma City, with the Nuggets obviously leading at 1-0-0. Won't pick who's going to win, but game 1 did go over. Let's go Denver, 14-5 over their last 19 games. Oklahoma City, 11-4 over in the regular season after losses. Remember, they swept the Memphis, so this would be their first postseason loss. So I got a 14-5 over trend, a solid 11-4 over trend. Where are we going to go? Let's, over 229.5, depending on where you do your shopping. Denver and OKC tonight.
I think if you don't like that, you can maybe look at it with the Oklahoma City Thunder team total over. I think they're going to light them up, especially in the first half. That's my favorite play. Go.
Yeah, that's what I did with the Knicks and Celtics. I did that with the Celtics. Baseball, pick number 3, trend number 3. Late game, Toronto at LA, the Angels. Blue Jays, 10-2. Their last 12 meetings against the Angels. And they're also 11-3. Their last 14 games in Los Angeles. So don't even worry about this being in LA. So a lot of Toronto Blue Jay trends. Where are we going to go? Let's go Toronto, minus 118 against the Angels.
This would be the first time since April 5th that the Angels have won back-to-back games, and the Blue Jays have won 5 of Berrios, however you say it, 7 starts. They're 5-2. Go Blue Jays!
Nice, like that, and it matches your Toronto there. How about that?
Sir. Yes, sir.
MLB, pick number 2 on our top 5 trends. Back to, what serves us well. Game is underway, but there is no score, so the numbers are going to be the same. Kansas City, 16-2 now, their last 18 games against the White Sox. White Sox are 3-15 on the road this year. This is just a no-brainer. So give us Kansas City minus the 230 at home against the White Sox.
They gave us a hell of a sweat yesterday, and it took a guy dropping a pop-up and actually hitting him in the head
Did you
yesterday
see that?
for them
Did
to
you
lose.
see
I
that?
did see that. We'll talk about that more in the second segment. I've seen that with the kids, but never in the major leagues with a guy since Canseco did it. But, yes, let's go Kansas City, get it done. Another day, another Kansas City win. What is number 1?
All right, number one, if it's not betting against the White Sox, there's only one other team it possibly could be, right? And fortunately for
baby.
us, it is a late game. Baseball, Detroit, best record in the American League, taking on the Colorado Rockies, the worst record in all of baseball. An old saying we have here, don't make this stuff harder than it has to be. Where are we going to go? The number one trend, boys. Yes. Let us hear it. Give us Detroit, right? Minus 170. Not a bad price either. Only minus 170. Not even 2-1 because they're on the road. But Detroit minus 170 at Colorado.
Gets a little chalky when you lay in minus 170 with a team on the road, not named the Dodgers, but we'll take another team named the Detroit Tigers that begins with a D. Let's go. Those 5 look pretty good tonight.
Yeah. Like I said, we're due for a good win. What do you think? I would take 4-1. I mean, I don't think we're going to lose Kansas City. I don't think we're going to lose Detroit, but, you never know. And then the other ones are kind of pick 'em. So if we could take the 2 that we're supposed to win and go 2-1 with the others, a nice 4-1 would be halfway decent.
I'll take 3-2 as long as we hit the right 3-2. I don't think Kansas City's losing either. When we come back, we're going to need the goal one.
Yes, more goals.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Pages. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number one, just getting underway. We got a little NBA, we got some hockey, and we got some baseball. I actually thought they were between periods. Apparently not. Maybe they started the second period in Toronto. What do we got, Dave?
Very quickly, right to start the period, the puck enters the Toronto zone and somehow finds its way onto the stick of Brad Marchand, who scores his first goal of the playoffs, puts Florida up 2-1 in game, 9 shots to 6 shots. Florida leads. They lead the game 2-1. They are now an unbelievable, to me, minus 400. They are minus $4. You got to put up $4 to win $1. So plus 280 or plus a goal and a half is only minus 120, and we can get a 1-goal game. It's allowed to happen, isn't it? Maybe or no.
I meant to look that up. How many 1-goal games there were, non-overtime games. I mean, you could, but the tempting thing is just take Toronto plus 280, right? I mean, that's bonkers. It's 4 minutes into the second period, and it's a 1-goal game, and that's the home team. Right. That's not even the road team.
I know.
I mean, wow.
Well, I think we just got a penalty. I think we just got a penalty. They've
been calling a ton of penalties in this game.
Wow, that wasn't a penalty? I mean, they completely ran into the Toronto goalie. This Florida team gets all the calls. That looked like a penalty to me, but apparently it wasn't a penalty. The referee put his arm up, and then they must have discussed it and said it wasn't a penalty. Okay, never mind. So no power play. 2-1, Florida leads. 16 minutes to go.
All right. First goal for Marchand in the postseason. You may have said that, but yeah. I almost forgot he was there. Just rooting on Florida. I like the Florida team.
I did just say that. Are you not listening to me when I'm talking to you tonight?
No, because I wanted to confirm it. I didn't know if you said first of this series or first of the playoffs. So when you said that, it kind of that's right. He's on Florida. I forgot about. How did I forget about that? Because you didn't hear that much about him in the Toronto or in the Tampa Bay series. So then I looked it up and I'm seeing nothing but zeros. It's just
okay,
first goal.
All right.
So
wow. Vinny,
Celtics.
Before we go to the basketball score, Vinny, can we get a little bit of this? Can we get another Toronto.
Wow.
Michael Nylander with a huge goal. Toronto's going crazy. A big deflection. The puck goes out of the zone. And my goodness, the guy rediscovered his youth, Max Pacioretty. An unbelievable pass to a streaking Nylander. And here we go. We got a hockey game. We just told you to take the plus 250. That was great.
Yep, I did. I was able to squeeze it in, too.
Super genius, Scott Wetzel. That was outstanding. That's how we do it. That's how we do it right there. All right, let's go. Get the halftime score up. We got to talk about the basketball. They want us to play the hits. The basketball is the hits. It's 50-41 at halftime. The Celtics led by as much as 16. The Knicks have never led. I don't know. I mean, what's the complaint about having a 9-point lead when you're laying 10? You're going to be a Boston guy and complain. They don't look good.
They don't look good. This is a carbon copy. Well, actually, it really isn't, because in first game, if you remember, they looked great. They put 61 points on the board, came out flying. Right. Then fell apart second half. But this is it's 50 points just because of the pace, not because of their shooting well. Celtics, 38% from the floor, 24% from three. They're shooting worse tonight than they did that hideous performance in game one. They're 5 of 21. They got 50 shots already. They're on pace for 100 shots. I mean, that's why they get the 50 points, because they're just going up and down their court. Even from two, you figure it out. That's 14 of 29. So it's not like they're shooting great from two either. But they just look awful. Porzingis played a little bit, 6 minutes. I think he's done. He's got 1 rebound. That's it. No assist, no point. He's not coming back. I think they said go ahead, give it a try, but I think he's done. So, and yeah, it's a 9-point lead, but they're letting Denver. They're letting the Knicks hang around. But kind of like the Denver game, kind of like the Pacer game last night, kind of a little bit like the Knicks game, game one.
When you look at the numbers and you look at the players, and guys, great job with that graphic. Jaylen Brown leads the Celtics with 17 points. Second is Derek White with 14 points. Jason Tatum has 2 points. 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. He's 1 of 7 from the field. And he has only taken 1 3-pointer. So a little different look, a little different attack. I mean, because he was just chucking it the other night. He was getting a ball and he was shooting it. So maybe it's a little redirection. You just go and add it, it'll look good. I mean, people say that about us sometimes. We still win.
You still perform, right? Exactly. Yeah. Well, he's not performing, though. He's not producing winners. We could give winners in ugly games, but at least they're winners. This is why Jason Tatum, he's not Donovan Mitchell because he has a ring. He's not far off. Any other player, right? Any other star player, Dave, who shot as poorly as he did in the fourth quarter and overtime in a loss in game 1 would what? You know it. They would come out flying in game 2. They would make it a personal challenge like, okay, you know what? I stunk out the joint. I caused my team to lose, so I'm going to come out flying. That's not Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting tonight. That's why he'll never – not that people are trying to put him in the Larry Bird class, but like being an all-time great Celtic, he's just not. He's a product of the 2020s basketball in the NBA. Good player, obviously, but you got to come out better than this. You just have to.
Timeout. He's 27 years old. We don't got to make him Larry Bird yet, okay? You sound like a crotchety or curmudgeon Celtics guy.
I am.
Stop being that way. They're up 9. They can cover. The in-game number's even bigger. Relax, please.
Take the 12.5. This is going to be a 1-possession game in the fourth quarter. You wait and see. SGP, same-game parlay, coming up next.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not
a 7th-round
There were
pick
2
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 1, as we continue to watch Jason Tatum hit clunker after clunker after clunker. But that said, we'll put that aside for a sec, and time to go to our little SGP same game parlay. All right, we're going to double down on a game we gave out in the 5 Trends segment, and that is the Toronto Blue Jays, Dave, and the LA Angels. Do like Toronto. They're not playing great baseball. The Angels did win last night, as a matter of fact, but still, they are the better of the two teams. Angels still 2-8 their last 10. You said it, they haven't won 2 in a row in 2 weeks plus. So let's go with Toronto. We'll start there. We're going to go George Springer, 1 hit, minus 220. He's hitting over 300 in the month of May. He's actually playing. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this was a walk year for George Springer because he's basically been a bust since they gave him all that money, took him from Houston. But he's playing well the last 4 or 5 games here in the month of May. So let's go 1 hit, minus 220. We'll go with an RBI. Why not? Plus 150 if he's going to get a hit. How about Andres Jimenez? 1 run. We got to get this bum on base, but if he does get on base, well, he's hitting $196, right? But don't ask why. Somehow or another, he's leading the team in runs scored with 16. So let's get him on base. And I looked up his number. He also, in the month of May, has actually got like a 4-game hit streak. So he's turning it around a little bit. So let's get him a run, plus 155. And then we'll go with Kikuchi there for the Angels, under 4.5 strikeouts. Toronto, with all those big bats and big swingers, right? They're the number 2 strikeout team as far as least strikeouts. San Diego strikes out the least. They're the second least. So let's go under 4.5 strikeout. He gets 5 or 6. He does, but I'm hoping not tonight against Toronto. Add it all up, and it's a nice 10.5 to 1, plus 1065.
Not bad. I like it. Let's get if we can get the Toronto 2-step in tonight. It usually doesn't happen. It did in game 1, though, when Toronto Maple Leafs won. The Blue Jays also won. I got a couple factoids here for you from this game as well, straight from my guys at MLB. Do you know who has the fewest home runs as a team in Major League Baseball this season? I can't believe it.
I bet it's Toronto. I know they only had 4 guys with home runs the first 2 weeks of the season. I remember telling that stat. So I'm guessing Toronto.
25 home runs. They've been out-homered 51-25 this season. That's the largest home run differential in baseball. Their 25 are the fewest in the majors. So that's not working like it, but you didn't use any home run props, so that's fine. I mean, we'll find a way on base to score enough runs. But how about this is an odd type thing, and I love to do this with pitchers when I look at the lines. The Angels have lost 6 of Kikuchi's 7 starts this season. Ooh. So they don't score when he pitches. He has 7 starts, a total of 20 runs scored in his 7 starts. So, I mean, they ain't even got him 3 runs a game in 7 starts. So that is really bad. The Blue Jays got to beat aside. I agree 100%. Let's get that in. I mean, they are 1-6 in their last 7 road games, but 2-8 in the last 10 for the Angels. I don't know who wants to be your friend when you got team trends like that. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Which one do you pick to be your friend? I mean, if you got to hold hands with one of them, which one is it?
I'm going Toronto.
Okay.
LA Angels, right? You said it with their lack of runs there for Kikuchi, but it's not just him. Yeah. They have 125 runs scored. That is second fewest behind. All right. I was just saying that's the third actually fewest behind 2 teams, Texas and Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays. No, in the American League.
Okay. Yeah. Where's Pittsburgh in that number? How many runs scored does Pittsburgh have right now? Because it ain't good. They got shut out again today.
118. They have the fewest in all of baseball.
Yep. Not good. Wow. Things aren't good in Pittsburgh at all. It's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me every night here on the show.
106.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different story. That's why we're on Detroit later.
They've been shut out about 6 times already, haven't they, Pittsburgh? They got shut out again today?
Yeah, it's number 7. They lead They lead all of baseball being shut out. Things aren't good. We could use some mojo. We don't have no mojo. No mojo. Can't get no hits. No runs. Terrible time right now.
They've only played 38 games. They're getting shut out on average 1 every 5 games, basically.
Once a week. You get shut out once a week. It's no good. 7 in a row. It's terrible. Bad time right now for Pirate fans. I know. It stinks. Good bet against. I mean, they were favored yesterday. Who made that number?
Crazy. Justin Curry, NBA baseball talk coming up next.
your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side
DRS.
with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers'
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I
It is
just told
incorrect.
you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm
you're
buying
doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
take
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history
Stop
of the
it.
sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Talk a little NHL, a little baseball, a little NBA on this Wednesday evening right here, SportsGrid TV, Scott and Dave. So, got the NBA going on. We got some baseball games as well, so why not bring in our good buddy Justin Perry? Check him out, shotqualitybets.com, as well as the fantasy baseball writer for pitcherlist.com and Hoops HQ. So he does it all, which is why we like to have him on all the time, because we have it all tonight, Justin. Talk a little NBA here. We'll start there. Why not? Celtics leading by about 10, but they're keeping the Knicks hanging around. Not the performance I was hoping for out of Boston tonight. Your thoughts on Celtics and Knicks so far?
It opened up hot as it could get for Boston, but New York, as they tend to do, continues to battle. And that's a little scary for this Boston side, because the way that game ended 2 nights ago in the fourth quarter looked as though New York might have that conditioning advantage for the entire series. You know, all that talk for Tom Thibodeau playing his guys for 40 minutes. Guess what? You might need to when it comes time to win or go home. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one finishes up. I would not be shocked to see the Celtics shooting maybe finally get so red hot the Knicks can't hang. But this is going to be quite the series. I think maybe more so than people really imagined. The Knicks can't seem to play a bad basketball game if they tried. Like, it's just so entertaining every time they step on the court.
It's unbelievable. I mean, they've already exceeded expectations in a lot of people's eyes. This was supposed to be a quick gentleman's sweep. And, I mean, the seed of doubt is planted. You got guys like Wetzel right now, who's a lifelong Celtics guy, going, they don't look good. They had a 16-point lead. They lead by 9 at halftime. The Knicks have never led. So it's all about perception. But, Justin, second game tonight. OKC lost the first game. They are huge favorites tonight. The total is going up, 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 up. Side total prop. What do you got in OKC in Denver?
Yeah, I like that over, and I think the prop's going to agree with it. I missed on this player on the first game. Again, you know, maybe part of why OKC took that loss, that dramatic loss. Jalen Williams with an EN, the one who plays a little bit more minutes, going over his number tonight was cold per our shot quality software for game one. Would not be shocked to see him get towards that 26, 27-point mark, maybe have a big game. I like that number wherever you can get it, 21, 22. Look, I'm not an alt guy. I like to stay close to the easy numbers so that we don't get too much to the hold. But I think there's a real chance he goes off today, and probably maybe even correlated with SGA coming in just under that number. Maybe one of those frustrating nights for people who go to the star to lead, and it's that secondary scorer who maybe has the big scoring evening.
Tomorrow, Justin, what do you do with Golden State? You know, they're saying that the Steph is going to be out a week, but listen, I'm no doctor. Just played one as a kid with my old girlfriends. I'm telling you, you don't recover. You don't recover from a hamstring injury in a week.
No.
Ankle, knee, elbow, not hamstring. So what are we doing with that series? That line's a 10 for game number 2, by the way, 10.5.
If you're lucky and you're Golden State, he's coming back for Game 6, and that's a full 10 days of rest from the injury. That is if it's the lightest hamstring strain you've ever seen, and I think you're probably looking at midway through the next round if they're able to do it. Now, could they do it? Sure. I do think that Buddy Hield has made a superiorly high number of threes. If there is anyone who could step into that role and actually maybe have the stamina and ability to do it, you're not going to get the same clip, but maybe you don't need it, right? I mean, you already have the advantage. You just need to hold on for 3 more. You get 3 home games. I don't know. I think it's going to be tough. I do lean towards Minnesota. Steph Curry is the engine in which that team is designed around. So someone's going to have to step into that position, and it's basically going to have to be Hield, or they're just going to sort of fall flat and they could lose in the next 5. This could very easily be Wolves in 6, even with them losing game 1.
As much as you're showing off with that beard in perfect condition and shape and color, we need to show off the tools in the toolbox. Let's swing it to the baseball. All right. I got the Toronto stuff on. We just got the same game parlay discussed. Toronto Blue Jays, as bad as the Angels are and all this other stuff. I mean, did you find a play in Toronto and the Angels tonight?
Yeah, if you really got to get something out of it, I can hook you up with something. I think the Angels to maybe struggle, I think, is a fair way to go at it. I'm a big first 5 better in baseball guys. I really like keying in on my starters. I don't really want to try to figure out which reliever might come in with 1 day of rest, who's going to come in with no days of rest, who's actually decent. There's too many names. Give me the first 5 innings, like a first half bet, in my opinion. I like that first half team total under for the Angels, or if you just want to go and take the side against them. I'm not a big fan. Kikuchi could have a good day. He does have some nice stuff. He can get those strikeouts. He throws good quality pitches, but the offense is definitely lacking. I would not be shocked to see them struggle to score multiple runs in those first 5 frames.
All right. Yesterday, we searched high and low for someone who actually liked the Miami Marlins against the LA Dodgers, and that actually turned out to be a winner. Today, we really had to search high and low to find a guy who actually has a bet on the Colorado Rockies tonight, and that is Justin Perry. Explain yourself, Justin.
Hey, look. I don't have on the Colorado Rockies kind of paints a picture that might make you think I want them to win a game. Again, I don't. I love these team totals. I do not care if they get blown out by 20. I just need them to score 2 runs in those first 5 innings, over 1.5 for this Colorado Rockies team against this Detroit Tigers pitcher. I'm not super excited about his stuff. I think he's been overperforming, one of the lower graded pitchers on the slate for me today. So I'm trusting what I see in those expected numbers, in those projections that we're so excited about. Some of the pitcher list data that's been going on over there has been really good. I think, honestly, maybe a few too little people know about it, and I don't even know if I should be opening my mouth at some level. But it's really good stuff, and the team over there deserves the credit, honestly. So a big shout out to pitcher list and the metrics they're developing. They've been super helpful for me this season. And honestly, hopefully another good night. Had a good start to my week and looking to finish up strong. So hopefully the Rockies, all you need is one man on. They're playing at Coors. 5 runs in 2 innings. 2 runs in 5 innings at Coors should be at least somewhat doable if Detroit stumbles at all.
Damn right it should. I like that play. That's good. It says New York, right on your graphic right there, Justin Perry. And you have the Knicks stuff on. Are you a Mets or a Yankees guy?
Look, I'm a Yankees man, born and raised. My father would turn over my grave if I said anything. I will go. I got to take the blue and orange off for that. It's a little bit tough, but I mean, at the end of the day, if the Yankees were out, I'm not that type of hateful fan. I want New York, the city, to get rings. It's just been too long. I remember as a kid, I was born in the '90s. We used to actually win. It has been a long time. Shout out, of course, to the New York Liberty. That was great, but we need more following in the ladies' footsteps.
Are your Yankees going to win tonight? They're trailing 1-0 right now in the 6th. They're plus 110 on the money line. The total's only 4.5.
They
Did
put
you
like
like
10 on
anything in
the
that game
bullpen
tonight?
yesterday, right?
I know.
They're being no
Yes.
hit, by the way. They are being no
Right.
hit too, bottom six.
Yeah, they're
Early,
being no
but-
hit through 5. They're being no hit through 5. I do think it's a struggle night for them after they put that walloping on them last night. They could do it, but it's probably going to come on like, a Judge triple, and then it's going to take back-to-back outs, and someone's going to trickle a single in to score the tying run, and they'll maybe get something done. But I don't like handing it to the bullpen. I don't trust this Yankees team much when they're not winning by 3 or 4 runs. So I'll lean towards the no. Padres get it done.
All right. Who's worse, White Sox or Colorado?
White Sox still, just by a hair.
By a tinge. Okay. I got to figure out when they play. How many people are going to that game? I mean,
Let's go.
Talking about over
We should
under.
go.
But
I'll fly.
Yeah,
I got family in Colorado. I'll be there. That'll be a sicko game of the week. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great day to get a baseball, that's for sure. Justin Perry.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side
DRS.
with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't
the
that
best
it wasn't as
quarterback
good as
prospect
Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers' program?
the entirety of the time that
No.
Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick,
Quinn
Arch
Ewers'
Manning is
team.
not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I
It
just
is
told you
incorrect.
he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm
you're
buying
doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
take
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over a
not, though.
7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the
Stop
history of
it.
the sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. While we were away for like the 100th time. Yeah.
Oh my
goodness. Goals being scored while we're away has a higher percentage than Jason Tatum from 3, but I digress.
You're right. That's a best bet. I swear we
Right?
only have so many breaks during the show. And again, for those of
Right,
you watching,
yeah.
thank you for watching. He's at Sports Beatcake and Sig for me, at Opposite Picks for Scott, at SportsGrid and SportsGrid TV for the show. Tweet at us. You can bet that there's going to be a goal scored at least once an hour, if not twice an hour, during our breaks. It's money. And while we were on the
Amazing.
break, we got a tic-tac-toe Toronto goal. I went nuts. I'm still excited. Lorenz over the shoulder. Where the genius, Scott Wetzel, said to shoot the puck. Over the blocker side, it's 3-2 Toronto. We told you to take plus 250 not that long ago. What's the in-game number now?
Now
baby.
Toronto's favored minus 250, Florida plus 2-1 on FanDuel.
How about that?
Now I would hedge.
Yeah.
Now I would hedge. I'm a big hedger.
If you got
Now
plus
I would definitely
250 on
hedge.
one side and plus $2 on the other, you can sit back and enjoy the watch the game with no stress. No stress.
Yeah. Of course, if you do that, the chances are pretty good you're going to make another bet somewhere along the line, and you're not going to turn the TV set off.
Should.
Right? So,
that's how you do it. You build your portfolio. You build it up. You add to positions, but you're always taking plus money. That's called arbitration. Arbing. That's what the kids like to call it. Yeah, arbing.
I used to work at Arby's. I didn't used to work at Arby's. Oh,
love the
great
super.
roast beef
love,
sandwiches. Oh,
love the super. It's my all-time favorite roast beef sandwich.
Melts in your mouth. They used to have the what's his face there that cuts the meat. You talk about like sharp. You touch it and you would be bleeding. Like you just tap it. Blood would come out. That's how like sharp
meat
those
slicer? Meat
slices were.
Yeah.
Well, back when I was doing it, way back when.
Well, that's way back.
Who knows now?
That's right. Yeah. I don't know.
So, all right. So 3-2 after 2, on pace for another over. Right? I know we had 2 unders yesterday. Baby. We did, but if you had to choose one of the 2, who are you? Now this game's not over, but they're in a position to go up 2-0.
Yes,
Indiana's already up 2-0. Yep. Who do you give a better chance to winning it all? Indiana or Toronto? Well, let's be realistic. Indiana to get to the finals.
Winning it all. Oh, okay.
The whole kit and caboodle. Because you can still get the Pacers at plus 6.5 to 1 when I looked this afternoon. That's pretty good. They're playing
to
great.
Win it all?
Toronto's plus 6.5 to 1 to win it all.
I feel like I'd rather have the Toronto ticket. I would rather have the Toronto ticket, even with 2 legs in for Indiana. I think the road for Indiana is going to be. So they got to beat. Celtics. They still got to beat Cleveland,
theoretically,
which I don't know if they're going to do, because I feel like they have to win Game 3. They got to get up 3-0. If Cleveland, who's favored in Game 3, but now finally a dog in the series, if Cleveland win Game 3, we're back. It's everything's okay. So Cleveland got to go win 1 game. Now, the health of their guys is a concern, but I mean, Toronto is something's working. They're playing with the backup goalie tonight. They're up 3-2. If they can get by this one, there's still a long way to go for both teams. But if I got to pick one, it's Maple Leafs for me. Who is it for you?
I think I'd take the Pacers, man. They're playing great ball. I don't think they're going to win it all. The win it all is 16 to 1, but I just checked. It's 440 to win the Eastern Conference. I think the way they're playing, you're right. They got to win. Just keep the team when it's down, right? Don't give them any, See, because I had it figured out where this would be Indiana wins the first 2. I got Cleveland winning Game 3, Indiana though winning Game 4, Cleveland winning Game 5. Pacers close it out in 6 at home. That's how I see it.
Okay, that makes sense. I like it. We got to update the people. The Celtics are up 73-61 after 3 quarters. The in-game number is 11.5. The Celtics are 8 of 29 from 3. I mean, 29 of 70, 41% from the field. Still only 10 free throws. I mean, it's just a different game. They don't even try to go to the hoop no more. I don't get it.
Tell you, the Knicks are just throwing this game away. All right, this is a great game for them to be up 2-0, like Indiana. I mean, they're only down 12, so it's still there. But the way the Celtics are shooting, you said 8 of 29. I mean, it's there for the Knicks to make a little bit of a run and play just a little bit. Tatum 4 of 14, 1 of 3 from 3. I'll say he's not shooting threes anymore, so someone's got into his head about that, right? Which may be a good thing, may be a bad thing. 9 points only, 12 rebounds. Thank goodness for Jaylen Brown and Derek White.
Right. I mean, that's what teammates do. They pick each other up. They get it done. So that's fine. I'm okay with Tatum kind of deferring tonight. Maybe he, did get told, listen, pass the ball, Jay. I would have told him that in game 1. It ain't going in. Pass the ball, Jay. So this is what he's doing. good teams adjust when they're not at their best and find a way to win. The Celtics didn't do it. They blew a 20-point lead. If they got to win ugly tonight, they'll win ugly. You got to get a win. Can't give the Knicks.
I think the Knicks
if
cover.
The Knicks win 2 in a row on the road. The Knicks are live to win the series.
I think the Knicks cover the 12.5. I grabbed them early at 14.5.
Right. Yeah.
They're just hanging around like game. Well, game one they were really kind of blown out. That was like a monster comeback. But this one they're just kind of hanging around. I got the Knicks or the Celtics team total over 110. I really love that. I thought they were going to come out flying. That's why I'm a little down. I thought they would really show. All right, game one stuff happens. You can't shoot 50% every single game, right? Okay, right. But you show your true mettle after that, and they're not. 73 points for the Celtics.
Quick baseball update before the break. The Royals are up 2-0 through 5. That's good over the White Sox. Tigers and Rockies are underway. No score yet. Reds lead the Braves 4-1 in the 6th. And the Yankees are still trailing 1-0 in the 7th. No hit through 6.
Wow.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a tape
no, I'm not doing that. The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
There were
pick
2
who didn't even play good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Yes, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Final segment, hour number 1. You know what time it is. Time for our best play of the day. And you're going to like this one tonight. We got screwed last night. Black Cloud play of the daytime. Yeah, we lost last night with over 2.5 shots on goal, Jack Eichel. He had 2 in the first period. All we needed was 1 lousy stinking shot on goal the rest of the game. I mean, and I think he had it like 10 minutes into the game. It was a winner. It was like you can't lose, right? I mean, you get 1 more shot on goal the rest of the game, and you're playing 30 minutes, for goodness sakes. Oh, that was a tough one, Dave. That was a tough one.
I was not going to lie. I was sitting on the couch going, I can't believe he got 2 shots and he didn't get another one. And I kept looking at the girls going, you got to get another shot on goal. Wetzel needs another one. But Didn't happen. That's all right. Give them this. Come on, we need a Black Cloud play of the night. Come on.
All right, we're going to get this winner, though. We're going to go back to the ice. We're going to use the Dallas and Winnipeg Jets series in game 1. So, like this one a lot. Over 24.5 saves, Jake Ottinger, goalie for the Dallas Stars. Here's why. He's had 10 full games against Winnipeg. There was one game he got hurt, I think, and left after a period and a half or so. So 10 full games against the Jets, and he's had 25 saves or more in 7 of the 10, 7-3, including 2-1 this year. In the Colorado series, last series, what have you done for me lately? 25 saves in 6 of the 7 games, including the final 6. On the road this season, which is where this game is for Dallas, he averages over 29 saves a game. At home, only 26.5. So they give up a couple of more saves, shot opportunities on the road, again, as this one is. So 29 is bigger than 24.5. 25, 6-7 against Colorado, bigger than 24.5. And then you got the 10 games against the Jets, who have done halfway decently against him as far as shots on goals are concerned. I don't know. For game number 1, Winnipeg's going to come out flying. I don't know how he doesn't get 25 saves unless they just, score 20,000 goals against some of these yanked. But over 24.5 saves, Ottinger, who, oh, by the way, was the backup to Hellebuck on Team USA's Nation 4 team. So a little.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Maybe a little rivalry, like, hey, it should have been me, not you, type of thing, maybe.
Listen, those tournament teams are fun. It's for like a week or two, and you get to know the guys. It's always a blast. I'm sure they're playing for keeps starting tonight. I'm worried about the periods where Winnipeg just goes into, hibernation. Like they may only get a period with 5 shots on goal. That's the danger. That's how you lose this bet. But if the game is played at the pace that I think Winnipeg wants to play it, they should get 8 to 10 shots on goal every game, or every period, and the game should go. I don't know if it goes over. I really don't, because the goaltenders, these are 2 of the best goaltenders in the world. But the shots on goal should go over.
Right. I will say this as far as the over is concerned. Both these teams 6-1 over their first round. We talked about. Now, listen, you got 8 straight trend. We got the trend, 5 on the line trend. Last 8 meetings have gone under 5 goals or less. But I'm at that point where I'm throwing all that stuff out the window, because LA and Edmonton, strong under. Dallas, a strong under team, and they went over. Florida and Toronto, strong under trends for their last 10 meetings. And we've already had one game go over, and this one, unless we get no goals in the third, is going to go over. So I'm kind of ready to throw out that under stuff. And Hellebuck hasn't been great. Of the 16 goalies, Dave, in the first round, he had the worst save percentage out of any of them.
Unbelievable. He might win the Vezina. He might win the Vezina.
Yeah.
It's a different game. The playoffs are a different game. I will say this. He had worse games on the road than he did at home. So, maybe we'll get that out of him tonight. So that's fine. And they are at home. Whiteout night. I remember the first time I ever saw the whiteout when I was a little kid, that picture of the Queen that they had in Winnipeg, because Winnipeg was the only team that did it. And you had to wait to see Dale Howardchuk back in the day. Boys and girls, look it up. Those Winnipeg jerseys were amazing. The whole crowd was wearing white. It's going to be hyped up, baby. This playoff hockey's the best, isn't it?
What happened first? Winnipeg whiteout or Penn State whiteout?
Winnipeg whiteout. Wasn't even close. Not
wow,
even close.
You guys stole it? You stole it from the Jets?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Wow. How about that? All right, hour number 2 coming up next. Steve Barrow, WagerTalk.com.
your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas?
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it
very
be Quinn
clear
Ewers'
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a seventh-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I just told you he's going to be number one overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
take
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a seventh-round
there were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history of the sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Dave, as we always are, till 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Little playoff basketball. Still looking for that surge from the Celtics. They are leading by 12, but I don't know if they're going to get that team total 110.5. They're midway through the fourth quarter. We got hockey in between the second and third periods, with Toronto leading Florida 3-2, and we got a decent number of baseball games going on. So let's bring in our good buddy Steve Murrow, get all his plays, all his picks, WagerTalk.com. Looked up today, ranked the number one best bet guy on WagerTalk.com. So we don't fool around with the other guys. We get the best guy. What's going on, Steve? How are you tonight?
Scotty, Dave, great to see you guys. I wore my Miami Vice theme for your for the Marlins. I think the Marlins occasionally do. This is not why I did it, but I had a pink T-shirt. I had a teal. I'm going to put them together because I knew Scotty and Dave would appreciate it. So it's springtime.
I love it.
Dolphin green. That looks like a dolphin green too. I'm a Dolphin fan, so I'll take that.
A little bit, yeah. It's not bad.
If I put the orange T-shirt, it'd be Dolphins. You are correct. That is correct.
Yes. It would be. So it's playoff season, and I mean we're watching the hockey and back and forth and this and that, but we got to talk about basketball. Looking at the game right now, all right, 84-72 Celtics. The in-game number is 11.5. Wetzel insists they're not going to cover that number. I think they're going to win by at least double digits. He needs a team total over 110.5. What do you see with 6 minutes left in this basketball game?
Well, full discretion to the viewers here. The last couple of days in the NBA have been mind-boggling. I had the Celtics in Game 1. They were up by 20. I was feeling pretty good. They lost outright. Had the Cavaliers to bounce back in Game 2 last night. Three of their top six players decide not to play right before the game. They're still up by 20 as well, I believe. They lose outright. The up 10 halfway through the fourth quarter. What does it mean? Probably absolutely nothing. But with that said, I did think this was a circle the wagon type game for Boston, and we have the numbers to back that up. They were 20-2 straight up off a loss this season, 18-4 against the spread off a loss this season.
Wow.
Which means they do normally blow teams. I had the Knicks at a 3. Now it's a 7-point game. Here we go.
Here we go.
So it's like the Daytona 500. Turn it on for the final 30 seconds.
It's amazing. Amazing. OKC, Steve, has similar numbers as far as, they only lost a handful of times. I looked it up. They are 13-2 straight up, 8-6-1 against the spread after a loss, 11-4 over, interestingly enough. Your thoughts on OKC Denver game number 2?
Well, it makes sense, Scotty, because Class A teams normally bounce back off losses in all sports. In fact, one of my favorite angles in any sport, even with all the chaos that we see nowadays, all the high-scoring games, is still to play quality teams in a focus spot. It works more times than not, and off a loss is usually a focus spot, and that obviously would apply to OKC here as well. And just like Boston in Game 1, they had a double-digit lead. It's not like they were getting blown out from the start, and they just took their foot off the gas. I don't think that'll happen tonight, so I definitely like the Thunder here, minus the 10. up to 10.5 in a lot of spots. So shop around. There's both 10, 10.5s out there. But I think they're going to really clamp down defensively. Keep in mind, this was the best defense in the NBA this season. They had the best overall net rating, but they also had the most efficient defensive rating in the league. And going into last night, or going into game one, even with that loss, they still had the best defensive efficiency rating defensively in the playoffs this year. So they are the best defensive team in the NBA, had the best overall record. So if they get the win and get back in the series, as I think they will, not only do I like OKC minus 10, but I think you can look at a Nuggets team total under 110. I think that definitely correlates. I look for a lockdown defensive effort. Nuggets team total under 110. And we could talk some player props here in a moment as well. I think that correlates with some particular guys under as well on the Denver side.
And that's what I was going to ask you because, when you start looking at different sides and team totals, unders and stuff, you start to look at players now. I mean, Russell Westbrook has been a lot of fun. And what he's doing in certain games has been a blast to watch. But you got an angle with Westbrook tonight that, makes you maybe want to play?
So I've been doing every NBA playoff game every day free in videos on Wager Talk TV at wagertalk.com. And one thing I mentioned, Dave, is, the zigzag. We're using that with OKC, obviously, tonight, but we can use it with player props as well. And I always look to zigzag with guys that are maybe overachieving or underachieving. And I think that does apply to Westbrook. First of all, the other thing I always say in my daily video at Wager Talk is we don't fade superstars. Although I like the Nugget team total under, I'm not playing Jokic under. You can do that with your money. It's over or pass for me with Jokic, so I'm neutral on him tonight. He's a triple-double machine every other game, basically. But Westbrook is a guy, as you said, has been vastly overperforming. I don't think they want him taking threes. I don't think they want him shooting as much as he has been. I think he will be weeding it out as the series goes on. So even if we miss tonight's under 11.5 points, I think we keep coming back with it. But I do like Westbrook under 11.5, as you see on the screen there, because I think he's due for a correction. I think he's an aging veteran. He's not a starter. He's been getting a lot of minutes. But he's going to come back down to earth. And with the Thunder in lockdown mode tonight, I think it begins tonight.
All right. Just to further that thought as far as OKC winning, I mean, it's amazing. Dave and I had brought this up before, Steve. Out of their 72 wins this season, 57, all but 15 have come by double digits. But that said, we saw Indiana, win game one and obviously win game two. We saw the Knicks win game one against Boston, and at least they're hanging around. Like old days, this would be a 20-25-point Celtic win. It would have been a 20-25-point Indiana win because the road team won game one, and that's it. That's all they were satisfied. But does that, shy you away a little bit with OKC being able to win by double digits against, a pretty good Denver team?
Yeah, I mean, here again, Boston's up 5 with 3 minutes to go. They were up by 12 going into the fourth. They led by 20 earlier tonight. The Knicks have never led. So I actually think the 5-point margin is misleading. It was Celtics or pass, obviously. It's OKC or pass. But, yeah, it's a big number. By the way, guys, I think the public is on Denver. So the public likes the big number. I think we're actually going a little contrarian here. But like you said, Scott, when they win, they normally win by margin. And, yes, we've seen some funky results the last couple nights. But keep in mind, it's the first time in history that all 4 road teams won game one outright in this round. The Pacers' comeback also was historic last night. They've done it twice. Only one other team had done it in like the last 380 games over 20 years, overcome a 7-point deficit in 90 seconds. So I think that nothing has changed. I just think we've seen some real outlier results. I think things get back to normal tonight with the Thunder winning by double digits.
Are you in baseball mode, or are you just strictly in NBA mode? Okay, so and you always are, because you're all over the place with the different sports and stuff, but a baseball guy as well and a coach and all that other crap. Toronto tonight against Anaheim. We looked at the game, couldn't find a real reason to take the Angels. Please tell me you couldn't find a reason to take the Angels other than maybe their team total under, or you got something here?
Yeah, I mean, baseball is very systematic for me, Dave, as you know, maybe 1 to 2 plays a day. This is not a game that I'm using for my clients tonight. I don't like it as much as I like the Thunder or the Nugget team total under. I think those are the best plays on the board right now. But baseball is a nice grind, and, I do still look at the pitching numbers. I know the starters don't go as deep as they used to, but it does look like the Jays have the pitching edge tonight with Berrios over Kikuchi. And we've seen a little bit of money actually come in on the Angels. Open 120, it's down to 115, even 110 Toronto. I think Toronto at a pick-em price is probably the safer play here. Not two teams that I'm in love with right now, but once again, Angels have the weaker starter. They've only won 2 of their last 10, only 5 of their last 20. Hard to make a case for them at basically a pick-em price.
Did you have any thoughts on Colorado, Detroit, and would you jump in on the Tigers now down 2-0, getting plus money, plus 180, as a matter of fact, bottom of the second?
Yeah, never mind taking that kind of a plus price against the Rockies, and keep in mind Detroit went off as about a $1.60, $1.70 favorite, right? So in game, 2-0, and it's Coors Field, right? Total was 10.5, so there's plenty of runs to come still.
Yeah. Check out all his plays, wagertalk.com. Look for his icon, Steve Merrill. Steve, great job as always, man. Appreciate a couple minutes with you, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Check it out, wagertalk.com, wagertalk.com. A bunch of guys there, but Steve is there. Make sure you search him out. So, all right, quick
what
little
are the
break.
Celtics
We'll go right
doing?
back to the board. They're blowing it. They're blowing it, Dave. I told you.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I
told you.
You did?
Did I tell you? Did I tell you?
You did. You did. Listen, I called you a curmudgeon. I said, can you just enjoy them having a double-digit lead? And you said, watch what they're going to do. And they're doing exactly what you said. It's 86-85 with 2.5 minutes to go. The Knicks have never led the game. The biggest lead of the game, again, for the Celtics, 20 points. They led by 20 in the second half. And they're up 1 with 2 minutes to go. I don't believe it.
They're fouling. It's so stupid. They're fouling on purpose, right? But you don't have to foul on purpose, like because they're putting the guy who's hitting the 50%, whoever it is, for the Knicks on the free throw line. And he made his last free throw, and then they fouled him again. So they're giving them a chance to tie the game. Now they took the lead, 87-86. 2 minutes left. You don't foul if it's a low scoring game, you don't need to foul. If it's 120 to 120, yeah, okay, you foul. But when you're actually, playing a team that's got 85 points, you don't foul with 2 minutes left. Why would you do that?
I don't even want to bring
They're
it
going
up.
to lose.
Uh-oh. Vinny,
they're going to lose.
You're going to have to give us this. Let's distract ourselves. Lundell, goal. Florida Panthers, 3. Toronto Maple Leafs, 3. So over the total, over hits, we're good. We might be getting ready for, well, there's still 14 minutes left. I don't want to say we're bet to overtime, but man, this is shaping up pretty.
What would the line
much
be? What would the line be on the series if the Knicks actually win again? Celtics are minus 370 today.
Similar to what the Pacers are. Knicks minus 180, somewhere in that neighborhood. You'd have to. I mean, you're going to have to go to the bank. You're going to have to go to the bank and bet on the Celtics plus money and cost average that whole thing out. You'll win 2 dimes if they come back. Oh! Vinny! Give it to me again, Vinny! Play it again! Toronto! Panama! Mitch Marner! My goodness, is that good? Maurice is looking at it. He's looking at it like he may challenge us. There's no challenge there. That's good.
Offside?
That's got to be a good goal. I don't know what he's looking at. I think that's a fine. They're fine. I think it's fine. It's good. Got to be goal. Wow, this hockey game is so good. I was just trying to distract you from the Celtics. What are the Celtics doing right now? What are we doing?
Down 3.
Oh
Down
my gosh!
44 seconds left.
Unbelievable. I'm not turning it on. I'm not doing it.
They haven't scored in about 6 minutes. They've been on 86 points and now 87.
And then they got 88.
87 now for the longest. Two free throws. How long?
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
They had 86 points with 5 minutes left.
Right. Yeah.
They scored
and
2
they just
points
got
in
a
4
basket.
minutes.
Right. At the end of a game. Maybe take it to the hole. Maybe do what they get to, foul finally.
Wow.
Oh boy. Well, you're gonna have to keep me posted because I ain't changing the hockey game. I ain't changing nothing. I might sleep in this Toronto stuff. What
Can't
a
bet
hockey
OKC.
game.
I'm telling you,
I ain't
Denver's
changing
covering
nothing.
tonight.
You think so?
The mentality has changed for the better. For the better. I will say it's the only time I can think of that 2025 basketball is better than yesteryear. Yesteryear, we were talking with Steve, these teams, Indiana would have rolled over, and they were down 20. Knicks would have rolled over and just said, okay, we got what we wanted. We got a split. We got home court advantage. But nowadays, they've actually gotten better. They haven't played great, but they hung around, both teams. And we saw actually Indiana win, and we might see the Knicks win tonight. So
you're
it's
never
the one thing,
out
like
of a game. You're never out of a game. In years past, when a team got a lead by 20, even if they won by 12 or they won by 8, they won the game.
Right.
This is a different. This is not your NBA, my NBA from our youth. That's fine. Things change. I just don't understand why you keep chucking threes when you get that lead. I mean, once you get that lead, just use the shot clock, run the clock down, go to the hoop, get a layup or two, get to the foul line, but keep scoring. You can't go 5 minutes without scoring when you had a lead like that. Oh boy. What's the look on your face? I see you made the look. What's the matter? What's wrong?
No, I'm just disgusted. They're 10 of 40 from 3-point land. I will say this. Last night or 2 nights ago, they shot 63s and 31, I think, 2-pointers. It has flipped. They've got 53 2-point shots and only 40, but they're not hitting anything tonight. The other night, at least they were hitting the twos. They're not even hitting the twos. They're 33 of 93 overall, 35.5%, 10 of 40, 25%, same percentage it was in game 1. Tatum stinks, 11 points, 4 of 18, invisible.
We need the
I mean,
opposite
just
picks music right now. We need the
so
we need to
overrated.
chill out. Yeah, I can tell the aggravation.
He's Donovan Mitchell. I'll trade him. I'll trade him right now
Thank
for
you.
Donovan Mitchell. Give me Donovan Mitchell for Jason Tatum. Straight up. Go ahead. Make the phone call, Cleveland.
Nice pull,
I'm
Vinny.
sitting here.
Good job.
Get him out
That
of
was
town.
good. Yeah, that was one of those. That was perfect call right there. Relax. It's okay.
He did just hit a
You're
shot.
gonna get a stop. Right. I was gonna say, huh? Huh?
He just hit
Huh?
a shot. Celtics with the lead, 90-89. 18
90 to
seconds
89.
left. Now let's see. Now here's my pet peeve about these NBA head coaches who are all idiots, right? That they couldn't design a play, that they couldn't beat Topeka High. Knicks ball down 1. Let's see with Thibodeau, who I generally like. Let's see what kind of play he designs coming out of this break. If he just says, here, Brunson, go one-on-one, then what are you doing as a head coach? Right? Design a play. Have him come off a screen, set a couple picks for him, run an
It
actual
worked
play.
in Hoosiers. Just give Jimmy Chitwood the ball. I'll make it.
Can you believe they designed him? Even that guy was an idiot. He was going to give it to the other kid. Gene Hackman. What are you doing?
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side
DRS,
by side
DRS.
with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't
the
that
best
it wasn't as
quarterback
good as
prospect
Quinn
they've
Ewers.
ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers' program?
the entirety of the time that
No.
Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick,
Quinn
Arch
Ewers'
Manning is
team.
not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I
It is
just told you
incorrect.
he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm
you're
buying
doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
take
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over a
not, though.
7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history
Stop
of the
it.
sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right. I do have some good news. The Tigers did tie up the Rockies 3-3. They were down 3-0. Welcome back in-game live. I don't know. All I know is it's not good news. That I can tell you. I'm a minute behind on my TV set, Dave. So right now I got Brunson at the free throw line, tied 90 all, 12 seconds left. I'm assuming he's going to hit this and have the Knicks go up 1. With 12 seconds left. Celtics do have a timeout. Yep, they do. Did they use the timeout? Of course not. So here we go. Our boy Tatum's got the basketball. Is he going to settle for a 3? No, he actually drives in a little bit. Shoot it. Oh, what is that? What is this? Knicks lose. Jason Tatum sucks. He's absolutely the worst. He is so freaking overrated. He's got the basketball. It's one on none. No picks, no screens, no off the ball dribbles, nothing. Just Jason Tatum, just go ahead. A moron could be the head coach of an NBA team. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. There is no imagination with any head coach in the NBA. I mean, what did they do in the timeout? Okay, when Brunson hits these 2 free throws, right, you had to assume, Jason, you get the ball. What do we do, coach? I don't know. You want to set a screen? Yeah. You want us to double pick? Yeah. Off the ball dribble? Yeah. You know what? Figure it out yourself. I'm out of here. I got a date in 5 minutes. They give him to Tatum, and he tries to drive. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what the fudge he was doing, Dave. He tries to drive. He gets triple teamed. He's in the corner, and he throws the ball away. Havlicek stole the ball, except this time I think it was Brunson.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to you right now as a Celtics guy. I don't know what that was. That was not a good anything design. Based on what happened all throughout the night, to go, you know what? Let's give Jay the ball and just clear out and let him.
Yeah, he's not even playing well.
Hoop.
He's not even shooting well.
He's got 13 points on the game. He's got 14 rebounds, 5 assists, but he was 5 of 20 from the field. And you decided, give Jay the ball and get out the way, guys. Don't set a pick. He's going to beat the guy off the dribble. And it turns out the Knicks obviously knew what they were doing because 3 guys contested the shot. Not 1, not 2, but 3 guys contested the shot. Yeah. The Celtics are down 2-0, losing both games at home. And 30-17, the Knicks outscored Boston in the fourth quarter. Thank you, Matty G, for that one. Sorry, Scott. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Unbelievable. I didn't think they were losing tonight. I really did not think they were losing tonight. What do you think? So, can they win? Who's winning, Cleveland or the Celtics? Or are they both going to lose? I know FanDuel will have this series up here in a second, but you're right. I mean, I'm assuming they'll be right around Knicks -1. Like Pacers are -198.
Same price, close, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the neighborhood. Same price, close. Let's see. East playoff series. It ain't up yet. There's a lot of discussions going on right now. My goodness gracious. Yeah. I think Cleveland wins game 3, but only if those guys play. If those guys aren't healthy, I don't know if they can win. I really don't. Right. I really don't know.
You want some good numbers on Indiana just to take my mind off this stupid Celtic team?
Yeah, let's change this up there, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess who's got the better record since January 1st? Cleveland or Indiana?
I'll say Indiana. They had a great second half.
Yeah. They're 36-14 since January 1st. Cleveland's pretty good, but 35-16. So this is not a fluke. This Pacers team has been on fire. 17-2 at home is Indiana. Cleveland's not going in the last 19 home games, obviously. Cleveland's not winning both those games. This is going to be 3-1 going back to Cleveland. I think I'd rather win game 4. If I told you it's 3-1, would you rather have won game 3 or game 4 if you're Cleveland? I guess game 4, right? Go back with a little mojo, a little momentum.
I don't know. I don't think it matters. Once you get to that point, you have to win one game. Forget about which game would you win. You got to win one game. I used to tell the kids that in the tournaments. They're like, well, we could win this game. And then I said, you win every game. Let's try to win one game. We'll worry about the next game when we get to the next game. I don't know, man.
7
Toronto
straight.
Still leads 4-3. Go back to the Hawks.
Yeah.
your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
It is incorrect. He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
take
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
there were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, in-game live, game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. Still perturbed over the Celtics 91-90 loss. I'm telling you, Denver, this is 7 straight now. All right, now we've reached 7 in a row underdogs winning outright. And these are decent-sized underdogs. This is not like 1 or 2 point dogs. This is double-digit dogs with Indiana in games 1 and 2, or at least game 1 anyway, and the Knicks. So, you'd be crazy to lay 10 now with OKC. I know one game has absolutely nothing to do with the other, but you know what? In my mind, it does. Give me Denver plus the 10. I think we get some points, but give me Denver plus the 10. Crazy. All right.
Oh, I mean, I'm locked into the hockey. I'm not gonna lie. It's 4-3 Toronto. 26 shots on goal for Florida. 21 for Toronto. 6.5 minutes left. I feel like we're hanging on. Florida's really pressing, but at least Toronto's finishing checks. Trying to equate what having a 20-point lead 2 games in a row at home in the playoffs are for the Celtics and have both games be losses. I mean, Merrill said it. It was historic what happened. First time ever in the NBA playoffs in the second round where all the dogs won outright. That's all you needed to be convinced to take Nuggets tonight?
That's it. That's it. These teams aren't rolling over. I mean, I don't think OKC should be a 10-point favorite. Listen, they had a phenomenal regular season. I get it. But, regular season, throw it out the window. Denver is, they're the champs from 2 years ago. They got a guy that can't be stopped in the Joker. If the secondary guys step up, they've been in enough playoff wars. They're a veteran team for the most part. And OKC is still that inexperienced team. This is not a veteran
about
team.
Jokic. The producers had a pick tonight. This happens occasionally. We're getting our guy on Mondays, Preston, involved in the producers' picks. Matty G, usually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, comes with a producer pick. Yesterday, the Steph one didn't get there because he got hurt. But my goodness, look at this one tonight. I mean, this is Jokic, points and rebounds over 41.5. Do you like that one?
He probably gets it. That's 30 and 10, right? You're asking for 30 and 10. If they're competitive, he gets it, which I think they will be. If they don't, then he's he'll be on the bench and it'll be a blowout.
Right.
But 41.5, that's actually not that bad. Yeah, he's good for 25. Hey, it's still 15 rebounds. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I mean, he averages 12. Doesn't he average 12 rebounds?
Yeah.
What's his rebound number? Guys, if you guys are around, look that up real quick. I don't know what it is. I I'm not changing anything. I'm not moving. Yeah, that's
let's
fine.
see what he got here.
I mean, the puck is in the blue crease. Toronto somehow knocked it out. I mean, Florida's going to make this last 4.5 minutes a real sweat, but at least the game's over the total. Yeah, so we'll check and see what Jokic is. 13.5. Okay, I mean, I was thinking 12.5. I still got it. Not even looking. I thought that was what his number would be. So, makes sense.
27 and 13. Yeah.
That's under by 1, though. We need over 41.
Wow.
We need yeah. Right. It's very important.
29.
You saw what happened. These 1-point games, these 1-point prop things, one rebound here, you got to be very careful. But yeah. Boy, we got a question from CBW. He just tweeted at us. Opposite picks and Sports BK can say, can Missoula actually coach, or is he just along for the ride? P.S. Boston soft, or are they choking, or both? Wow.
Yeah, he's just for the ride. Good question there, CBW. Good guy, but he was for the ride last year as well. Nice guy, quiet, unassuming. Show me one time where he's getting in the face of a player, and that'll be the first time. He lets these guys do whatever they want. I don't doubt what he's telling the media right now is, well, the guys, we had open looks. He's going to say what he said after game 1. Well, we had open looks, and that's just our game plan. We're not going to shoot twos. That's our game. We're going to live and die with the 3. All the same rhetoric. God forbid you should criticize a player, or God forbid you should actually design a play. The one time the Knicks defense collapsed was the one time that Jason Tatum goes to the hoop. They should have realized that wasn't going to happen because he went uncontested for a slam dunk layup the previous possession. So you knew during that timeout, Thibodeau was saying, listen, guys, you got to collapse. Let's force them to make a jump shot. They're hitting 25% of their shots.
Right.
There's just no thinking with Missoula. He's a typical NBA head coach.
This is so funny. This is what happens. We got a lot of people watching the show, and they're tweeting at us again. You guys send us tweets at Opposite Picks, at SportsBK, can say while you're watching the show and the games. But my guy Lake Show Magazine just tweeted at us and said, WTF just happened to the Celtics. I stopped watching midway through the 4th quarter, and New York was down by double digits. How many people did that?
Yeah.
And said, oh, this is going to be done. I'm done watching this. And they're going, wait, what? How? What?
When are they going to learn? When are they going to learn that you can't do that? I had a guy in the podcast do that, a Cleveland fan last night. He calls, I guess, midway through the 3rd quarter, whatever. He's ranting on Cleveland this and that. I'm like, Johnny, it's funny when you play back their phone calls, which is what I do, is like, wait till the end of the game. If you're not waiting till the end of the game at this point, then you're just a dope, right? I mean, so
I'm gonna play a game with you right now.
All right.
The FanDuel Sportsbook has put up the series price line for the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics. What is it?
I don't think it's going to be as big. I'm going to say pick 'em. I'm still going to give the Celtics credit. Okay. I'm going to say pick 'em.
All right. This might give Patrick a little bit of hope and pause, and the rest of you, Celtics fans out there. It's New York Knicks minus 126. The take back on the Celtics is plus 108. So if you have a Celtics series bet where you laid the big number at the beginning, you can cost average the price and go get more at plus money, which if you'd have told me before the series that you would ever get the Celtics in this series plus money, I wouldn't have believed you. I'd have said, you're crazy. There's no way, unless they were down 2-1 or something, which apparently they're going to be down 2-1. Maybe. I mean, can they be down 3-0? There's no way. Can they? I mean, what do you make the line for game 3?
I'll tell you this. How many playoff series have the Boston Celtics been in their history, right? Literally 100, right? This is only the 5th time they have lost games 1 and 2 at home.
5th time?
5th time. They went on to win only 1 of the previous 4 series. They're 1 and 3. Fifth time, and literally, I bet it's about 100 playoff series. It's got to be. I'll look it up.
The number for me for Game 3, Boston has to be favored. Cleveland's 2.5. They got to be more than that. So we'll talk it through right now in my head. You guys are watching my head work without. I'm going to take my hat off. You can see, although I don't want to take my hat off because right now the Maple Leafs are still winning. It's got to be 4 or more, just a little bit more than 4. I'd say 4.5. I might dangle a 4.5 or 5 to see who will come with the New York money, not named Spike Lee. I need to know what the dog price is immediately. So that's my number right now.
I tell you,
4.5 or 5.
At least Indiana was competitive and looked okay, being outscored, whereas the Celtics played like crap.
Right.
You talk about trends, right? Heading into this game, 15-3 against the spread when favored after losing the previous game.
Oh,
Celtics at home after losing game 1, 17-5 against the spread in game 2.
Friends, no more.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
I told you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
There were
pick
2
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. Final seconds. Timeout on the ice. Toronto leading at 4-3. We'll keep you posted on that. OKC just underway. Out to a nice 15-7 lead over Denver in the first quarter. We got a couple of baseball games as well. So let's bring in our good buddy Adam Kaufman, SportsGrid Radio host and SportsGrid TV as well, Adam. So just throw it out there. The folks here know my reaction to the Celtics debacle tonight. Your thoughts? Celtics losing 91-90.
I'm trying to muster a smile being here with you guys, but honestly, this is like the last thing in the world that anyone who actually roots for this team wants to talk about. Look, I mean, anyone who has heard me on SportsGrid in recent days has, recently is right before this game on Game Time Decisions, talking with Joe Ranieri, previewing this one. I don't know what else to say other than I have just been woefully wrong about the way that this thing was going to play out. And honestly, I'm not even necessarily talking about the win-loss aspect of it. Obviously, here in the second round, weird things have happened. Indiana took 2 games in Cleveland, albeit with the Cavs banged up. New York takes 2 in Boston. The Thunder end up winning the first one there in OKC. Game 2 of that series is underway. You see Minnesota lose at home to Steph Curry. Well, a portion of Steph Curry, and then it's Buddy Hield game 1 to open up their second round set. So road teams have just been, doing this here in round 2. As a fan, as an NBA fan, it's exhilarating, it's fascinating. But as far as Boston tonight, for the second straight game, guys, at home, holding a relatively late lead in excess of 20 points to melt down once again. I mean, they just look gutless. They look disinterested. They look like they don't want to be there. They look like they don't care. Do I believe these things of the defending champs? I don't think so. But honestly, you can only blame bad luck to a certain point. And I thought that first game against the Knicks, missing 45 three-pointers and shooting 25% on what was classified by NBA tracking data as open or wide open threes. You know what? That's bad luck. Water's going to find its level. That's not going to happen again in this series. And you know what happened the very next flipping game? The same damn thing. Not as many attempts. Wow. They took 60 in the first game. They take 40 in the second game, but they still shot 25%. Jason Tatum sucked in this game. And even Jalen Brunson on the other side, it's not like he was otherworldly. You just had bad performance after bad performance and missed shot after missed shot for the Celtics. They weren't rebounding. They were careless with the basketball. Turnovers like crazy. They looked just filled with indecision, whether it was all the commentary around the threes getting into their heads and them saying, oh, we need to play differently. Everyone expects us to play differently, so we better do something different. And then they go out and they fumbled all over themselves repeatedly and defecated down their legs. And now they find themselves in this position where they need to win 4 out of 5, going to New York for the next couple. Can they? Do they have the talent? Of course, but there is just no way anyone should feel good at all about what the Celtics are doing right now. But I will say to the Knicks' credit, because I personally have not given the Knicks enough credit, this is a stretch of 3 straight wins between the closeout on the Brunson shot in that winner against the Pacers to now overcoming 2 20-point deficits in back-to-back road games to beat the defending champion Celtics. I'm not sure we have ever seen a 3-game stretch like this out of the Knicks in that team's history. So what they are doing right now, look, golf clap. It's incredibly impressive, as equally disgusting as it is what we have seen from Boston.
It's 5 straight playoff road wins for the Knicks. I doubt they've done that in their history. Maybe back in the Willis Reed days, but 5 in a row. It's amazing. Go ahead,
I put the listening glasses on because that was really one of the best Adam Kaufman rants that I've ever seen here on SportsGrid. And, you earned it. That was good. We sat back and listened and let you go. All of that being said, right now, OKC in-game is 13.5. Does the dog run come to an end with this game? Is there a reason to take Denver, yes or no, or is it done?
So I think in-game there's reason to take Denver with the points simply because of what we saw in game 1. And I don't even mean the fact that they, sort of lucked themselves into a win with the coaching staff there with the Thunder kind of over managing the thing down the stretch with all the intentional fouls up by 3 and kind of effectively giving the game away. It's just what we have seen from the Nuggets, obviously in the last round against the Clippers, and most especially in that first game in a hostile environment there in Oklahoma City. They are a resilient team with great depth, championship medal, and the best player in the world right now in Nikola Jokic. So I think the Nuggets are once again live to come back and win. I said pregame I would have taken Denver with the points in that one, but at the same time, I thought Boston was going to cover the spread tonight. So what the hell do I know? I mean, this is just, it is the goofiest second round that we have seen maybe ever in NBA history, certainly in a long time. But yeah, I mean, so long as they're healthy, I don't know, guys, how you can bet against Denver right now. Maybe OKC goes on a run, SGA goes crazy, and they end up winning the game by 25. I don't see it. I think Denver, even if the Nuggets don't win, I think the Nuggets keep it close.
Who's got a better chance of coming back, Celtics or Pacers?
You mean Cavs?
Celtics or Cavs?
I would say the Celtics, but I base that on a couple of things. One, it is hard for me to imagine them continuing to play this badly. Never mind just the shooting. I mean, again, they need a couple day reset to check their egos at the door, or stop reading their press clippings or whatever it is, and get their heads on right. But they are still despite New York winning these two games, I think even a Knicks fan would acknowledge that the Celtics are the more talented team between the two. The reason I say Boston is that, coupled with the fact that Cleveland has so many injuries right now. Like, I do like the Cavs, I do. But, how much of this can Mitchell do effectively by himself? There's no Mobley right now. There's no Garland right now. There's no Hunter right now. That's 3 of your top, 6, 7 players. That means something. And the Pacers are riding hot with a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Adam, great job as always, man. We'll check in again tomorrow. In-game live, game day.
All right.
Here on the grid.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
I told you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take
I'm not
that is
doing
incorrect.
That. The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Thanks to Adam Kaufman joining us there for a couple of moments. So it's good to have a fellow Celtic rant and rave, not just me, right? I did just listen to a little bit of Joe Mazzulla, head coach of the Celtics, and, a couple of dopey things. Basically, he didn't throw the players under the bus, but it's typical Joe Mazzulla. What happened? I don't know. We had our shots, and we just didn't hit them. Thanks, coach. How about designing a real play, final play? Don't call timeout. He was asked about that. I told you they just, after the free throws, they had a timeout left. They just went down the court. He said, well, we just did that the last play, and we called the same play. It's like, are you that stupid? Really? You think, I mean, if the last play was nobody but nobody, it was the parting of the sea. If you think that was going to be available 10 seconds later on the Knicks end of the court in front of the Knicks bench, I mean, that just shows how dumb you are. What are you? There's no way in the world the Knicks were going to allow that again. The guy went in for an uncontested dunk. Thibodeau was probably yelling and screaming at these guys at the free throw line. You better make sure. He's just not smart. He's just these NBA coaches. It's a shame when I got to be smarter than the NBA typical head coach. It really is just like
you are a genius. You are.
I mean, you were going to run the same play, the same exact play that you ran 5 seconds ago. You think that's going to work? You think 10 seconds left, they're going to let Jason Tatum go right down the middle again?
Right down the middle. Listen, take a deep breath. Your face got really red right there. It felt like it was the return of the opposite pick segment when you were ranting and raving. And using all those words that you use.
Thank you for that.
Maple Leafs win 4-3 final. Get it in. That's done. So we're up 2-0. That's good. The Panthers are going to win Game 3. I don't know who needs to hear it first, but the Panthers are going to win Game 3. So just to let you guys know right now, we'll probably be on that. The Royals held on and won 2-1 against the White Sox. So that one's in for the 5 on the line. That's good. The Yankees are locked into a 3-3 tie right now, going to extra innings. So that one was low, and they were being no hit until Bellinger broke it up with a home run, and now it's tied 3-3. The Tigers have taken the lead in Colorado against the Rockies. They're up 6-5 in the fourth, so they were down, and that was good. No score yet in Toronto and the Angels through 1. So the no run in the first inning got there with major sweats because they have traffic on the bases. Another day, another Dodgers win today. They won 10-1. No surprise there. At least your Red Sox won today, 6-4. Any solace from that? That's good. That's
very
not bad.
Little. Very
little.
They were down 3-0, I will say. But very. No.
So I mean, I got to ask you, when you take an L like this, like this, I mean, and I brought it up yesterday on the Twitter. What's your gut wrenching loss of all time? And this is not one of those, but this is a bad one.
No.
What do you do after that? Like you personally, like a lot of guys go out and cut the grass. It's too dark. It's nighttime for you. You're not going to cut the grass tonight. Yeah. What are you doing after this? Anything?
A couple shots of Jack Daniels it could be high on the list.
Hey! Yeah.
I'd say talk to the wife, but I don't need any more aggravation, so that's not going to happen. So I'll just sit in my office and just, the good news, bad news. The good news is the Game 3 is not until 3 days from now, so they can regroup and do whatever soul searching they need to do. But the bad news is it's 3 games from now. I wish these games were tomorrow. Get right back on it and just get this taste out of their mouths and win a game tomorrow and be done with it. So, you got to sit there and linger for 3 days.
Now, will you watch the hockey game? Can you get any joy out of watching the hocky game tonight? Okay, all right.
Well, we got the Black Cloud. We got the Black Cloud of Nottinger, over 24 and a half saves. Right. So, we could definitely do that. But
our friend JY, James Young, comes on the show all the time when we can get a hold of him. Did he come up with a tweet? What does that say?
What does it say?
After that fourth quarter defensive masterclass, I'm officially promoting OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges as the new, what does that say? Wingstop spokesman, lockdown defense, now being served exclusively at TD Garden. Get you a plate at SportsGrid. Look at this guy. The body's not even cold yet. What the hell? Man, oh man.
Wow.
Knicks fans are going to be so annoying the rest of the week. My goodness gracious. Big bong.
By the way,
wow,
you're right about the line being 5. Who in their right mind is laying 5 points on the Knicks in Game 3 or on the Celtics in Game 3 after the way they performed these 2 games, right?
Well, you can't make it less. You got to find somebody to take the 5. You want the 5?
I would gladly take the 5. Gladly take the 5.
Come on in.
Yeah.